The Huskies are coming off a big weekend split with the University of North Dakota. They remain 7th in this week's USCHO.com poll as they prep to take on former WCHA rival and in-state opponent, the University of Minnesota, this coming weekend. Welcome to another week of the St. Cloud State Husky Hockey Weekend Preview. I'm your host, Taylor Budge. Joined here alongside me is Mick Hatten from the St. Cloud Times. Mick, a lot of things went right for the Huskies this weekend, especially on Saturday with 6 different goal scorers in that 6-1 victory.
Well, that was, it was a big thing over the weekend. Is that they were able to establish their offense. Really both nights. I mean, when you get 9 goals against North Dakota, you're doing some things right. Obviously, the power play has been particularly effective since Ethan Prow has come back from his concussion, and St. Cloud State is kind of proving themselves to be a very solid offensive team, averaging over 4 goals a game at this point of the season.
Now looking into this coming weekend, the University of Minnesota 4-4 on the year. They're coming off a bye weekend, 2-2 on home ice. St. Cloud State, they haven't picked up a win at Mariucci since October of 2010. And looking at the Gophers roster this year, it's quite different from what we saw even last year.
Right. Their top 3 goal scorers from last season, the top 3 in points, Mike Riley, Kyle Rao, Travis Boyd all gone. Starting goalie Adam Wilcox also gone from last season's team. So there is a kind of a lot of different new faces that people maybe don't recognize here with this particular Minnesota team. The Gophers are struggling a little bit offensively, which is unusual for them. They still have the 12 NHL draft picks on the roster, but that's going to be kind of the question mark for the Gophers kind of going in. They've been struggling a little bit on the power play and with their offense. So are they going to be able to generate offense? To counter that, is St. Cloud going to be able to continue to play solid defense, which they've kind of done all season, led by Charlie Lindgren.
Taking a look for Minnesota as well, it's not a battle of the Brodzinskis anymore as Johnny left a year early. Michael Brodzinski's been a big key, though, to that Gopher defense this year. He also has 2 goals and 6 assists. What are we expecting to see out of him, even though he's a third-line defender this year again? Well,
one of the things with Michael is that Michael shoots the puck well, just like all the Brodzinskis seem to, and he's had to pick up some of the offensive slack with Riley being gone this season. He's back on the power play again, so expect Michael to be back there and seeing a lot of ice time for the Gophers. He's one of the most experienced guys they've got on the blue line.
St. Cloud 9-0 after leading going into the third period. How important is it going to be to have a strong start, especially when you kind of have that stat hanging above your head that you haven't gotten a win in Mariucci in almost 5 years?
Well, it's all about getting a good start and getting a lead. I mean, that 9-0 that you're talking about, that's a sign of a good team. I mean, good teams close out. They finish off teams when they're ahead. They don't let teams get back into games, and you saw that on Saturday in particular with North Dakota. North Dakota's a very good team, and St. Cloud was able to kind of keep them down and keep kind of pressing forward, get 2 third-period goals to close that game out.
So what's the biggest key you think St. Cloud's going to need this weekend if they want to get away with another weekend split or sweep?
Well, they have to stay out of the penalty box. Even though the Gophers' power play has been struggling a little bit, don't give them more chances on the power play. St. Cloud's been struggling a little bit on the penalty kill, so that'll be one of the key things. And then just staying strong defensively. They played extremely well, I thought, defensively on Saturday against North Dakota. If they're able to kind of get back and get into passing lanes and kind of take some things out of the Gophers' way in terms of transition, St. Cloud will be in pretty good shape this weekend, I think.
With it being Thanksgiving weekend, that also means that Black Friday sales are right around the corner. So be sure to visit SCSUtickets.com starting on Friday morning for ticket sales available for the general public as well as season ticket holders. That's starting Friday at SCSUtickets.com. A note for this weekend, this series is actually on a Friday and Sunday as opposed to Friday, Saturday. Puck drop for both nights is set for 6 o'clock. You can catch both of those games at Mariucci Arena on Fox Sports North. Nick, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.